2025 was not a particularly good year for LEGO. Honestly, I'm getting pretty tired of saying that. I have repeated that same sentiment in several of these end of year lists. And if you're searching for a more positive spin on this past year for LEGO, go check out the video I uploaded last week where I talked about my picks for the top 10 best sets of the year. However, I need to let loose and rant one more time about 2025 LEGO products. These are the stinkers, the sets that just pissed me off, man. No more beating around the bush. Without further ado, here are my picks for the top 10 worst LEGO sets of 2025. The rules for today's video are actually a little bit more complicated than the best list. Obviously, the set has to be an official 2025 LEGO release. That's self-explanatory. But I decided to omit certain types of sets from today's video because they felt gimmicky to me. So you're not going to be seeing any polybags, any GWPs, gift with purchases, promotional sets. There's also going to be no brickheads, and finally no 4+ sets in today's video. I wanted this video to kind of be the worst quote-unquote normal LEGO sets of the year. Although a lot of these sets I would say are pretty abnormal because they suck. So with all those specifications out of the way, let's dive into the countdown. We are kicking things off with a pretty big set. Number 10, set number 76444, Diagon Alley Wizarding Shops. Microscale is interesting. LEGO does it for quite a few themes, and I think it works pretty well for buildings in particular. They obviously did the microscale Hogwarts a couple of years ago, and that's a very good looking build. So I think doing another microscale Harry Potter set was a natural choice. So they gave us one of the most iconic locations in all of Harry Potter that LEGO has been utilizing for sets for years now, Diagon Alley, and it looks like garbage. This might be a hot take, but I just don't think this set is aesthetically pleasing. It just looks like a mess, and microscale in this instance really hindered the designs of all the individual buildings. They seem way too simplistic, and all of those colors don't mesh in this small scale. The microscale figures also just look a little bit awkward if you ask me, and overall I don't like the way this set looks. I know some people are probably going to disagree with this take, and that's fine. If you like this set, more power to you, but I personally think this one is just ugly to look at. And that's why this microscale Diagon Alley Wizarding Shops is kicking off our top 10 worst sets of the year. Number 9 is another pretty large set. It's set number 60473, the City Tower. Earlier in the year, when we first heard rumors there was going to be a $210 LEGO City set called the City Tower, I honestly got kind of excited. Obviously, I figured it was going to be a play-scale LEGO City set at 8+. It wouldn't be like this modular building skyscraper, but I figured they could do something really interesting and give us a proper big LEGO City set that might be more adult skewing. But what we got is one of the messiest LEGO sets I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm looking at the picture of it right now, and I still don't really know how to describe this thing. There's kind of a semblance of a tower in the middle, but then there's like a small fire station, a small police station, a crane, and a freaking spaceship on top next to a skate park? Like, what is going on here? Befuddled. That's the word I'm going to use describing this set. I have no idea what I'm even looking at. This set was such a wasted opportunity and is one of the ugliest sets of the year. I hate this thing, man. Number 8 has got to be one of the most overpriced sets of the year. It's set number 76975, T-Rex River Escape. This set hails from Jurassic World Rebirth. It doesn't really help that this movie I thought was personally very disappointing. Now, this is replicating a scene that's pretty solid in the film, but it has its inaccuracies. I made a whole video this past summer breaking down the accuracy of the Jurassic World Rebirth sets. Now, the build of this set, I would say, is fairly dinky, nothing to write home about at all. The T-Rex is a cool mold, but look, LEGO has been using that same T-Rex mold since 2012. It's not really unique anymore. The main reason this set in particular made this top 10 worst list is because of the price. It has less than 200 pieces for $50. And look, I know the T-Rex is a big part, but it's not a new part. LEGO didn't have to make any new molds for it. And look, there's no way you can convince me that a set with this build, which looks like the build to maybe a $15 to $20 set, bridges that gap between $15, $20 to $50 because of this one T-Rex. There's no way you can convince me at all it's worth it. Horrible price, mid build, repetitive dinosaur, nothing good about this set, y'all. It's not good. I'm sorry. Number 7, people probably think is actually going to be a little bit low on this list, is set number 75413, Republic Juggernaut. Bar none, this is the most controversial LEGO set of 2025. This set just basically lit the LEGO Star Wars community on fire, and with good reason. It literally falls apart in your hands. It's crazy how fragile this design is, and it also just doesn't look that good either, if you ask me. It's a downscaled version of the Juggernaut, aka the turbo tank. It's an ugly looking build. It does come with some very desirable figures, which is great. However, the figures also have their own individual flaws I won't dig into too much in today's video, but really the main reason beyond the instability of this design that people hate this set for is the price. Having hardly over 800 pieces for $160 US, making this set nearly 20 cents per piece. Oh my gosh, one of the worst prices in the entire history of the LEGO Star Wars theme. So pretty much everything about this set sucks. The only reason it's only at number 7 is if you ask me would I rather have this set or the 6 sets ahead of it, I would take this Juggernaut happily for free, and I guess that counts for something, but look, all of these sets suck. It's not really a praise on this set that's only at number 7 in today's video. Number 6 is set number 76314, Captain America Civil War Battle. If you watched my top 10 worst Marvel sets of the year video, you'd know that I just hate this Civil War Battle set, and I was so let down by it too, because this was an incredible scene that LEGO could definitely make into an incredible set here in 2025, and they just fumbled the bag, man. What happened? The minifigures range from decent to horrendous. It's missing several characters. The actual airport display is pretty much a facade, and not a good one at that. The Quinjet is tiny and dinky, and then you get a buildable giant man who looks fine, I guess, but they've given us buildable giant mans in the past for cheaper sets, so nothing crazy there. And all of that comes together for an overpriced $100 set that looks horrible on display, and this is pretty much meant to be a diorama display item. Maybe it's an okay set for children, but as an adult collector, this one sucks. Number 5 is a fitting set to discuss here in December of 2025. It is set number 76456, LEGO Harry Potter Advent Calendar 2025. LEGO Advent Calendars are very hit or miss for me, and honestly, they're made for kids. They're not something that I particularly love, but I've come to look forward to the Harry Potter Advent Calendars in particular these last few years. I think LEGO has been quite creative with them, and I guess you could say that this year's Harry Potter Advent Calendar was creative, but not in a good way. Spoilers if you're currently opening this Advent Calendar, but look at these builds. What the heck are these? They're like little chibi versions of Harry Potter characters. They're so simple. They look like nearly 4+ builds. Goodness gracious. Who on earth wants this? And then all the minifigures, I guess their torso prints are fine, but there's nothing to write home about here. This is a waste of an Advent Calendar. I really don't like this one, and it is by far the worst Harry Potter Advent Calendar LEGO has ever produced, bar none. Number 4 is another terrible LEGO Marvel set. This is set number 76323, Avengers Endgame Final Battle. Pretty much everything I said about the Civil War battle set applies to this Endgame Final Battle set. And the reason this one I think is a little bit worse in my opinion is because 1, it's a worse price. They are the same price, $100, but this one has significantly less pieces. And 2, the build itself is just a pile of rubble with some portals. There is no substance here at all. The Civil War one, not a lot of substance, but it's a little bit more presentable than this. Additionally, they don't even give us a giant man figure in this set. They give Ant-Man a mech? What are we doing? What are we doing, LEGO? I just have no explanation for that whatsoever. And like the Civil War battle set too, the minifigures range from pretty solid to really awful and half-assed and lazy. LEGO Marvel, these sets could be so great. You did an amazing job with the 2024 Age of Ultron one, but these two sets from 2025 are just awful, man. They really let me down. I'm praying 2026 kind of rights this ship. Our bronze medal worst set of the year belongs to set number 10375, How to Train Your Dragon Toothless. I considered putting this set at number 1 because I was so let down by this item in particular. I love How to Train Your Dragon. I remember seeing that movie in theaters 15 years ago and wanting a Lego set of it then. I had been dreaming of Lego making a toothless set for so long, a decade and a half, and finally this year we started hearing rumors we were gonna get a Lego toothless set, and I was overjoyed. And then the set ended up being this. The fact that this is an 18+ adult collector's set but looks like a Funko Pop is beyond me. What on earth was this decision making? I don't understand it whatsoever. Why are we getting a chibi rendition of Toothless in Lego form before a proper Lego Toothless? Just give us a normal brick-built Toothless with a hiccup minifigure and I would be so happy. But instead, it's this ugly, stylized rendition that just ain't for me. I know this set has its fans, and like I said earlier in this video, if you like this set, more power to you. But for me personally, this is not at all what I wanted. I think it looks horrible, and this, in my opinion, was probably the most disappointing set of the year. And the only reason it's not number 1 is because the 2 builds ahead of it are just so bad. Still though, I think this Toothless set was such a letdown. It looks horrible. Man, I'm just getting heated, y'all. Goodness gracious. Our silver medal worst set of the year is number 2, set number 76443, Hagrid and Harry's Motorcycle Ride. As soon as I first saw this set around this time last year, I had it penciled in as the worst Lego set of 2025. I honestly thought it was never going to get topped. However, Lego did kind of redeem themselves a little bit because we are getting this scene in the play scale form, minifigure scale form in 2026. And that makes me very happy. When this set was first revealed, I thought it was going to be the play scale, but it's this weird stylized big figure version of it that I hated. But now that we're actually getting the proper version of this set, I'm a little bit less hostile toward it. And by less hostile, I mean I'm putting it at number 2 instead of number 1. But still, the anger this set caused me when it was revealed was palpable. These brick-built figures for Harry and Hagrid, I think objectively just look awful. Harry's face is hysterical. Like, what am I even looking at there? We have too many dang styles of figures these days. We don't need more. I hate the way they look. The brick-built motorcycle is fine, I guess, but it's just not what I wanted at all. And I feel like nobody bought this set. If you did and you like it, again, more power to you. I'm gonna say that throughout this video. Everything is subjective here, but for my personal taste, this just looks awful and it made me really mad. Now, before we reveal number 1, I have some dishonorable mentions that I need to get through here real quick. The Lego Star Wars Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack set is one of the worst battle packs ever made. The Night Trooper figures are cool enough to keep that set off this list, but it's still really bad. The Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Sonic's Campfire class is such a waste of a $20 set. Lego dropped the ball with this one. The Disney Maleficent and Cruella de Vil's dresses set is just an idea I don't think quite came together. I like a good dress. I like some good women's fashion. I'm not joking. That's something I actually am kind of interested in. But this set in particular, I don't know, man. I just don't think that this idea came to fruition the way they wanted it to. And finally, I need to give a dishonorable mention to the F1 Race Cars Lego collectible minifigures series. Everyone seems to hate these. I don't hate the individual designs. They're kind of cute, but it was a waste of a CMF spot, and I understand the vitriolic reaction the community had to these. With those dishonorable mentions out of the way, it's time to reveal our gold medal number 1 worst set of 2025. It belongs to set number 43010, Nike Slam Dunk. Look, I love Lego, and I am a Nike person as well. I have tons of Nike gear, but I don't really think a partnership between those two respective brands makes a whole lot of sense. And the more sets we got revealed between Lego and Nike, I feel like my thoughts were justified, because what the heck are these? Any of these could have made this top 10 worst list, but this one in particular, this Nike Slam Dunk set, is an abomination to Lego and Nike. I just can't even describe what this build is. If you're catching my drift, I don't love ugly stylized figures, and this is the king or queen, because you can gender swap it, of ugly stylized figures. Oh gosh, it's just It's hard to look at, man. It's really hard to look at. And then the whole basketball hoop thing, the weird like forced perspective they're trying to do here. What is this? Who is gonna buy this and display this? Legitimately, I don't have any explanation for this set. If you want to make sports themed sets, if you want to make, you know, basketball themed sets, just make like a basketball court like the early 2000s NBA sets. Don't make whatever the heck this is. Oh, it's so ugly. It's one of the ugliest Lego builds ever. I could sit here and rant about this set for hours, but I'm going to conclude with saying I have no doubts in my mind that set number 43010 Nike Slam Dunk is the absolute worst Lego set of 2025. Whew, that was a lot, but it kind of feels good to get a rant like that off your chest. But those are just my personal thoughts. What is your least favorite set of 2025? Let me know in the comments. And thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.